Okay, peace and blessings. Try y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. Remember, they said it, now we speaking on it. You are now watching Touchscope channel. So, getting straight into this news, man. It's a little bit of our history. A lot of things that you're seeing are hundreds, damn near almost thousands of years old, that you're watching right now, man. This is Black FBA, like prime premium news at its finest. And I'm showing y'all this just so y'all can get a little bit of y'all history, if you come from the South and stuff like that. I went to one of these slave plantations out there in South Carolina, and I just seen that, a lot of white people know more about our history than us. And this was kind of like something just to like shed a little light on that as well, like learn about yourself. And so people can't really tell you who you are once you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know, my background and stuff like that, my family background, where we come from. Because we've been out, like, from generation to generation, we've been over here. So once I started watching a lot of conscious brothers, like Tariq Nasheed, watching Hidden Colors and stuff like that, watching Dr. Umar, and you know what I'm saying, like, he can be discredited in some ways of the factor, but a lot of the things that he says is true. You know what I'm saying? As far as black people go, a lot of things he says is true. He, you know what I'm saying? He putting it in the words for brick and mortar. Tariq doing the same thing. Brick and mortar. He got the museum. Dr. Umar got the school. You know what I'm saying? Them boys doing it. You know what I'm saying? They doing what they supposed to be doing. They doing the black ancestors the justice by doing that. You know what I'm saying? And as Tariq would say, just that Majara spirit. You know what I'm saying? Giving that black feel, that FBA feeling that we all got, that, you know what I'm saying, we all surpass any, adversities, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Any stumbles in the road, we always tend to jump over them because of that Majara spirit. A lot of people ain't really got that. So this is to show y'all a little bit of y'all background. You may not know, you might have family that got these last names and stuff like that. And just going there, bro, touching all of this stuff, it was really eye-opener, you know what I'm saying, to see what our ancestors went through. Some of this stuff is thousands of years old, these paintings, these replicas that they resold for human people. This is just a painting on the wall, but they resold this 1,000 times for human people. And I'm not going to talk on the video because I want y'all to be able to enjoy it, see the research, and, get the feeling of, what our people went through and stuff like that. You can probably hear my daughter crying in the background because, that spirit, that Majara spirit was working on that joint was working my daughter up, man. She did not want to hear that. On top of that, you got this little, she looked like she was in the Motley Crue beating the drums, a skinny little white lady telling us about black history. And, she actually stayed on the plantation, which is crazy. Because people will come there and take pictures. Like, I find that it's very strange. Like, people will come there and take graduation pictures. People will get married there. She was staying on the land because I guess the people still owned it. So she was staying on the land, which I found very weird, man. It was weird. There's a lot of those trees around there. I don't know if y'all know about the song. I forgot the woman's name, but she sings a song called Low Hanging Fruit. And it's about like how they used to, hang the little kids and stuff like that. It's called like Low Hanging Fruit. But only certain type of trees and stuff like that. Those trees was out there, like we was all in the slave quarters and stuff like that. It was a good experience, man, as far as like feed the mind, feed the spirit of the ancestors, to know where you come from, feed your brain, you know what I'm saying? And, I took my daughter, she was there, she was having a fit. Oh my God, I can't even emphasize enough on that. But nevertheless, I'm gonna let y'all get into this video, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk throughout of it, so hope y'all enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all drop y'all comments. Tell me if y'all know about this plantation. It's out there in South Carolina. But tell me if y'all know about this plantation. And if y'all ever been. If you haven't been, you should go. If I can recall the plantation, the name of the plantation, I'll put it down in the comment section in the description or whatever, so y'all can get a hold to it. But you should go, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to actually go to a couple more plantations to see like how the people were living. Was it different in the South? Was it different in the Midwest and the North? Things of that sort. Start putting more of that on the channel. But I appreciate y'all watching. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, man, they said it now. We speaking on it, or really, man, they did it. You know what I'm saying? They did it, now we speaking on it. I'm at the Telescope. Now watching Telescope channel. Hope you guys enjoy. Telescope.
History, but as you're reading out of the gift shop, this is actually one of 4 plantations owned by James Emmett. This was his smallest in terms of land, his largest home. And this site, its intention was very different than the other sites. So this site was never meant to be a large scale full working plantation. And then his other trees. So this site was very much meant to be a display of all of the wealth that he had accumulated in the 20 years prior to establishing Franklin. There was some experimental agriculture here in the way of vineyards and orchards. And that's why you see some of the people like house here versus the other sites. So when I tell you
Yeah, they said that this right here was all one room. That door right there wasn't there, it was just a wall. This is all one room. For a family up to 2 to 10 people was sleeping here. There were chairs and stuff like that. Seem like they just like these is trophies for them or something like that. They put a lot of honorary Negroes on here. Sad to say. The Black Codes, Reconstruction. What that said, the Black Codes. Peggy Mac, Birth Records, Jim Crow and the Great Migration. There wasn't no glass on the windows. The windows pretty much looked like this. So if it was breezy, if it was raining like it is now, they felt all of this wind. Like right now it's raining pretty bad. They felt all of this. With a little bit of thin clothes they had. They said that the pregnant women were 3/6 instead of 3/5 of a person. So they was a little bit more valuable, I'm guessing, because they were breeding or bred. Yeah, man, this is history right here, man. History right here. Sad history, but it's history.
Ended up purchasing some brick as well, essentially because he was running out of clay pit area on his other plantation where Alvin was making work from. So this area originally, when James Henry Hammond lived here, this was basically just storage. So canned food, a lot of corded wood storage down here, so to feed all the 12 fireplaces in the home.
Wow.
And they had water storage here, so there were 2 wells in that back workyard. That garage was once a cabin. There was a well in front of it that was 80 foot deep, and then one where the other cabin was stood as well.
Okay.
So they would bring water into this area and store it inside of the home instead of continually going back outside. Potentially syrup pouring.
Oh yeah.
That's probably
Sugar and-
thing. Yep. So we actually have no idea what these were originally used for, but we found them on the property, and it's a kitchen technology. That outhouse was raised, and the kitchen was added in here to the basement of the mansion. So you can see the wood fire stove that was put here. This was from the 1930s, and then they actually add on a dumbwaiter system in here too. That's from this little line. The other side is touched up here, but yes. So it is the southern basement. This is what we call the first floor. And like I said, during James Henry's time here, they're off around 1900. So that's that little room in the top there.
Who was that lady as compared to this lady in the picture? They look like totally different.
Totally, actually unrelated. So this is James Henry over here. The guy who looks like he's in a military uniform, but he never fought in any sort of service. He's a monk member. This was originally in 1962 when this home was finished. This was not completely Yes, and Catherine is certainly well in position. 2 years is a long boarding period. We're in the late 1820s, and that's because her brother Paul is basically not wanting her to marry James Henry. She has to get his permission because, and Paul actually calls James Henry a fortune hunter on multiple occasions. Yes, and James Henry's asked to relinquish her dowry. Basically, Paul's like, yeah, if you give up the dowry, you can marry her. He has choice for recreation to gain wealth and position. Yes, and Catherine is certainly well in position. 2 years is a long boarding period. We're in the late 1820s, and that's because her brother Paul is basically not wanting her to marry James Henry. He has to get his permission because, and Paul actually calls James Henry a fortune hunter on multiple occasions. Yes, and James Henry's asked to relinquish her dowry. Basically, Paul's like, yeah, if you give up the dowry, you can marry her. Big money. And they lived here until Mary's death in 1916. She died in 1911. Then this goes to their oldest daughter, Julia. Julia and her lover a couple of years after this time at college. So that descendant came to us about a year and a half ago. The art piece there is one of his. He resigned because of he was not feeling well. And his doctor said, why don't you go to Europe for a little while and you'll feel better. So that's what he did. He took a 15-month tour around Europe for his health.
Yeah.
And so after seeing this in the Sistine Chapel, he paid an Italian artist $1,000 to make him this half-size copy.
Wow.
His highest valued enslaved person was $1,000.
Wow.
Just to kind of let you know the kind of wealth that James Henry Hammond had, and unfortunately $1,000 really wasn't that much money for him.
Right.
He paid $4,800 for 3/5 ownership of a thoroughbred racehorse.
Wow.
Yes. So,
But that's not what these slaves were.
as many people did then, and the other cross hatching, and the newer ones are the ones with the little cross kind of on it.
Oh, wow.
And I overheard you say that rosewood is protected now.
Yes, so Brazilian rosewood specifically.
Oh.
Rosewood itself is used in a lot of instrument making, but the Brazilian rosewood is protected because it was harvested in a lot of like rainforests and stuff like that. So these were cut out in the 1940s for forced air heat by the last owner. So they were added to the floor because the whole unit ductwork was in the basement.
Okay.
And these walls are all lath and plaster here, so cutting through these walls could mean significant damage even elsewhere in the plaster structure itself. So a lot of these were done from the floor because the actual lath and plaster construction is a really difficult thing. It's very temperamental. It's very solid when left alone, but one nail in it, one little puncture in it can really cause a lot of other damage in other places. And you'll see that upstairs when we go upstairs.
And the curtains are from the same 19.
These are all mid-century redecoration from that last owner. The heart pine floors are original, but for a lot of their life, they were covered by big oilcloths and carpets. And the drapes and carpets color scheme for the home were green and gilts.
Okay.
So they kind of went with the outside style. She marries her first husband. Her first husband is murdered in the factory that he works in. Her second husband marries her at a time when she also unfortunately had a very severe opiate addiction. She had a lot of underdescribed and just we don't really know what was wrong with her, but something gynecological was wrong with her, and no one could really help her, but she went to all of the best doctors. I mean, the biggest names in Europe, New England, everyone, no one could solve her issues. But that's kind of what contributed to her 15-year opiate addiction, which eventually killed her at the very young age of 42 when she died of an overdose. And her second husband had this made of her. It is marble, and it is the only fully marble bust that we have in the home. And all the other ones that you see around here are plaster.
So are you allowed to open a drawer to show us how it looks inside? It's made?
I am not.
Okay.
I've actually never opened the drawers before, so I really don't even know how functional they are. I'm sure they're fine, but I'm not gonna get in trouble with my character. If I felt confident that they worked and slid, I would do it, but I don't really know if they even. It's called kind of just as part of those 20th century changes. Not as popular to show off your bedroom furniture at the front of the house anymore. So James Henry Hammond's bedroom was where the dining room is today, the front room of the house. And then this was the dining area here. It's just not as common, it just wasn't as popular. That last owner actually made their master on the top floor when they originally started living here. But as they got older, his first wife, Frederica, had a lot of mobility issues. Members of the Henley family down there. So we actually have Dennis's grandparents' purchase receipts, Anthony and Lucy Henley. Anthony, his grandfather, was bought in 1834 with two other people, Tom and Sally.
House or three?
Yes. That cabin we were in fits in just the hallway.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, these don't connect to the roof. They wouldn't be in
This looks like a child's room.
the 4 bedrooms up here were children's rooms for much of their life. In the 1870s and 1880s, here you definitely had 5 kids in the house, and so their main bedroom was on the bottom
Wow. So these are double, one for the bottom and one for the shower.
Yeah, exactly. So today we have, what's called a